Okay, so I shouldn't really look at these cars because if you don't look, you don't see the problems and everything's fine. But some parts I ordered from Japan have arrived. So this is the cap for just here. You know, these things are a couple of dollars from Japan. And yeah, replacing them makes a difference. I'll pull that off once I've finished filming. But yeah, if you want the part number for the washer bottle, that's it. Just little things like that. So I'm missing a few of these clips along the front. Over there you can see, so just here. So see how this is coming out. So I ordered them. Those are them there. And yeah, I'm gonna clip them all in. There's another 4 spots. I just put one in just there. So yeah, there's other bits. So what prompted this was my heater hose. One of the main heater hoses had split, and I was lucky because it was at the end. So I was able to chop it off and shorten it and shove it in there. But I think these heater hoses were $15 each from Amiyama in Japan. Whereas here in Australia, I think somebody had them for maybe $80, maybe even more. Also needed, or I need to put this in, which is the fuel pump gasket. Because mine has a split. And yeah, so all maintenance stuff really. So I have to confess, the starter motor from a Yaris doesn't fit perfectly. This is the original Yaris like gear mechanism, and this gear here for Yaris is not the same as JZX. So what I had to do was and that might be why it doesn't fit properly. I might have to change that over. So see, this is the Yaris gear, but this flat piece here, I used the Yaris one when I probably needed to put this in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out the starter motor and just check, because when I put it together, there was a gap just here. But because I had to go back to work, I just slammed the starter motor in, and it works. But where this joins up, I'll see if I can get it to go together on this. These are the old pieces. So this is the... I'll put you guys down for a second. See if the camera will stay up. Maybe not. Yeah, so when I put the other starter motor together, see this gap here? Oh, there was no gap. Or there is. On the other one, there is a gap. On this one, there is no gap. But I also don't have this piece in there. So, this kind of goes like that. Then that kind of goes like that. And then that kind of goes like that. So on the other starter motor, there's a gap here of about that much. So I'm going to pull it back apart. I've literally pulled that thing out 6 times now, and I can do it in about 5 minutes. So yeah, I just want to investigate why there's a gap, It's probably a spacer piece. I'm going to measure things, make sure it's all correct. But yeah, that's it. Waiting on power steering stuff for Oliver's car. He's gone to his mate's place, but he started by making this, welding a flange on here, chopping this pipe from this pipe here. There's his long lengths, and then he's going to go, so it's got headers. It's the old exhaust if you haven't seen it. So it has men at work headers. So 3, 2, 1 headers. And he's going to go into one straight piece of 3-inch. Then from that into this twin exit muffler. Okay. I've asked him to put in a O2 sensor bung into this because we need to get O2 at wideband reading. We need to buy a wideband sensor for him, but that will allow us to tune the car on the road. It's going to be an A to start with, so as long as we can get a decent ignition map to start with, then yeah, we can tune it on the road. But yeah, twin. Now he made this little X pipe, but my concern is how big it is on the inside there. It actually doesn't look too bad. If you have a look here, see this width? It goes quite thin. So it will kind of defeat the purpose of, if you imagine, if he put that there, he's necking right down into something really, really tiny. So yeah, not sure what he'll do with that. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to keep going on this other stuff. Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry. So don't look at your car, or do look at your car, because if you have a look down here, there's all oil weeping, and it looks like, so if you've ever got an oil leak, say you look underneath a Subaru engine, basically oil leaks are tricky because it comes from the highest point. I found a drop on the bottom of the valve cover, and that could be anything. It could be a cam seal over here that is leaking and it's migrated over to there and it's dripping. But I think it's power steering, and the highest point is obviously the power steering reservoir, and you can actually see there's all this buildup under here. Now I think there's an O-ring between this power steering reservoir and there, and that could be what's leaking. But you can see all down here, it's all wet, and then I think that's leaking through to the bottom. So still power steering fluid in there, but yeah, I'm pretty confident that there's an O-ring, or maybe it just needs tightening up on the pump. I don't know, but I'm going to investigate that. And then the turbo oil drain has always leaked on this thing. I think it's very poor fitting. It's also tricky to get to. I did RTV it, but it still seems to leak a little bit more. So I'm going to have to address that eventually. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I like things to work properly. So when I find something like that, I need to fix it. So yeah, anyway, gonna fix that starter motor, put these clips in, and find out what sort of O-ring or solution I can do with this, come up with a plan. So to get to the lower O-ring, I syringed out all the fluid through the top here. There's a little bit left here, and then the O-ring sits down there. But it's not the O-ring. So like I just said, you got to find the highest point. So I just saw, this is the lid from the top. And I just saw, see how there's a bit of build-up along this edge? This is actually the seal right here, and it's a dead giveaway. This thing's like old, and it actually cracked just then when I pushed down on it. So there's not meant to be residue around here. And then if we look at the reservoir closely, it's actually leaking up over the top here, and then it's going down. And the O-ring, right? The O-ring sits under here, and the oil isn't going to go from the O-ring and migrate upwards. Now, don't get me wrong, that is possible, but it is less likely than the oil coming from the top and going down. So the likelihood of it being the O-ring at the bottom is very slim. I think what I'll do is when I order this seal, I will order the O-ring anyway. But yeah, essentially it's the lid seal here. And I thought I'd replaced it. I'd done it on the white car, my other WRX. So I'm going to order that seal, and I'm going to order the O-ring at the bottom, and that should solve that issue. So glad I investigated. Kind of glad I saw the drop at the bottom of the car. But yeah, look, it'll be all fixed then, and the front of the engine will be clean again, and back to brand new. And look, it's not uncommon for this to happen. You know, like, who pulls the top off their power steering reservoir? Not very many people. So we'll do that O-ring. To get this off, I'll have to suck out all the rest of this fluid, and then it's just those two bolts, and the O-ring sits underneath. So yeah, I'm going to find the part number for that and get it ordered. Going to put this back together for now anyway, because depending on where I get, like, the O-ring's like, I mean, it's $5 here in Australia. It's probably like $1 on Amayama, but Amayama is going to take a month. So I'll see how much that seal is, see how much the O-ring is, and decide where I'm going to get it from. Or also, one thing I saw that I forgot I was going to mention. So I used to have my map sensor sitting over here, and the hose was about 1 meter long. Now, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but what I did was I made a little jumper harness just here to go from the map sensor connector over there to, I moved the map sensor over here, and now it's just got a hose going from here to here. So, you know, it's like 20 centimeters or 30 centimeters versus before it went from here, down here, round here, and all the way around to there. Whereas now it's like less than half the distance. So anyway, I'm going to find those part numbers. So pull the starter back out. Like I said before, I just wanted to check this gap here. And what it is this piece here on this one is somewhat shorter than this one, or this shoulder is taller on this one. And basically this just doesn't slot inside that. But what this one has is, on the inside of here there is a shoulder, and the outside edge, so just here, this outside edge is seated on a shoulder here. That's why it won't go in further. And it's also sealing on that shoulder. So that's the main thing I wanted to check, was that, is water going to get in through here and ruin the power steering, starter motor? look, it's a Chinese starter motor. I just wanted to see what it was like to get me out of trouble. Almost blew it up when I first started. I didn't mention that actually. So I was missing a wire from the gearbox to the body, and I believe that's what caused, I mean, that's probably what burnt out the first starter motor and what almost burnt this one out. So we've added the wire. Everything works fine. So if you do a manual conversion or you do work on your gearbox, do not forget the ground strap from the lower starter motor bolt to the chassis. Mine, in fact, was going from the top bolt, and the people who changed the gearbox last time on me, previous to this time, because I had to get the clutch rebuilt 3, 4, 5 years ago, they had trapped it between the bell housing and the engine. So by rights, it was actually grounding properly. I don't know how. But anyway, that gap's fixed. We need, we need those power steering bits. I was looking into, so on the back of the WRX, there's it's a press-in steel drain for the turbo. And it's always, I mean, it leaked way worse when I didn't put any RTV, but I redid it, but it seems like it's weeping again still. There is a torque solution kit that's it ends up being 300 Australian dollars with shipping, which is literally like two fittings, two special fittings, two AN fittings and a piece of hose. And it's $300. I refuse to pay for things like that. The fittings are about $100 and they're charging $200 for the AN fittings and the hoses. Like, it's absolutely insane. So I might buy the individual fittings at some point just to get them, and then I'll make up my own Dash 10 hose. But anyway, I'm going to go put the starter motor back in and order my parts. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'd love to hear them. And subscribe if you haven't already, because it helps other people find the videos. Waiting for parts for this one too. So anyway, thanks for watching.